Averroes, also known as Ibn Rushd, was a medieval Andalusian philosopher, theologian, and polymath. His works had a significant impact on Islamic philosophy and medieval European thought. Averroes says, "The fundamental truths are inaccessible to reason and must be known by faith alone. Ignorance leads to fear, fear leads to hatred, and hatred leads to violence. This is the equation. Truth does not become more true by virtue of the fact that the entire world agrees with it, nor less so even if the whole world disagrees with it. To know yourself, you must first know the world. There can be no contradiction between religion and science, as long as each sticks to its own turf. The purpose of morality is to teach you, not to suffer and die, but to enjoy yourself and live. God has created me to do him some definite service. He has committed some work to me which he has not committed to another. Man is a rational animal. So at least we have been told. Throughout a long life, I have looked diligently for evidence in favor of this statement. Those who are skilled in archery bend their bow only when they are prepared to use it. When they do not require it, they allow it to remain unbent, for otherwise it would remain unserviceable when the occasion for using it arose. The greatest minds are capable of the greatest vices as well as of the greatest virtues. A society will be free and pleasing to God when no one acts either out of fear of the prince of hell or out of desire for a reward from a courtier or from paradise. And when no one will say, 'This is mine.' An army of philosophers would not be sufficient to change the nature of error and to make it truth. Be humble enough to realize that you are no better than anyone else. Be wise enough to realize that you are different from everyone else. Knowledge is the conformity of the object and the intellect. Two truths cannot contradict one another. Women have the same final ends as men. The Quran only distinguishes between those, male or female, who seek the law of God and those who do not care. There is no other hierarchy between human beings. But you men consider women as plants that are sought only for their fruits, procreation. And you make them separate, servants. These are your traditions. They have nothing to do with Islam. There is no contradiction between God's wisdom and his justice, but they seem to be contradictory from the perspective of man's limited wisdom. It is fitting for a student to think and speak with the awareness that there are many opinions, none of which are absolute truths. Knowledge and wisdom, far from restricting themselves to one channel, enter every open door. Education is the ornament of the prosperous, the refuge of the unfortunate. A friend is one soul abiding in two bodies. The harmony of the truth with all the various opinions and ideas is like the concord of the various musicians. God is the term used to signify reality absolutely ultimate and supremely complete. Virtue is the outcome of a conscious habit. Time is not an absolute reality, but a concept dependent on the relative positions and conditions of existing things. Happiness is the highest good, being a realization and perfect practice of virtue, which some can attain, while others have little or none of it. Immerse yourself in this light and illuminate your world through your fellowship with light.